If you're thinking about moving to Covington, Georgia, then this video is for you. I've already covered the community tour and the pros and cons of living here, but today I want to give you something different. 5 things I think every buyer should know before they make the decision to move to Covington. Some of these will surprise you. Some of these are just purely practical. And number 2 is something that could literally change the way you finance your home. And most buyers, they don't find out about it until it's too late to take advantage of. I'm Rick DeShields, realtor and U.S. Army veteran with Peace of Mind Real Estate Agency, brokered by Legacy South Real Estate Group, right here in Metro Atlanta. My job is to make sure you have the full picture before you commit to anything. So let's get into it. Let's start with something that most people researching Covington don't fully appreciate until after they've moved here. Newton County, where Covington is the county seat, has grown from around 112,000 residents in 2020 to over 125,000 by 2025. That's more than 11% population growth in just 5 years. People are discovering Covington, and they're coming from all over the country. What that means for a buyer considering a move right now is straightforward. Rising populations drive demand. Demand supports home values, and a buyer who gets into a growing market ahead of the curve tend to see stronger long-term appreciation than those who wait. Covington isn't a secret anymore, but it's still early enough in the growth story that the value is real. That window doesn't stay open indefinitely. This is the one that I told you about in the intro. And if you're a first-time buyer or a veteran exploring your financing options, then pay close attention. Parts of the Covington area fall within USDA eligible zones. That means qualified buyers may be able to purchase a home right here in Covington with zero down payment through the USDA Rural Development Loan Program. That means no down payment, no PMI, a fixed interest rate. But before you assume your specific property qualifies, ask your lender to run the address through the official USDA eligibility map. It takes about 30 seconds and gives you a definitive answer. This is one of the most underused loan programs in the country. And parts of Covington are one of the areas where it actually applies. Most buyers don't even know to ask about it until someone brings it to their attention. If you're working with a budget and you want to know whether you qualify, that's exactly what the kind of conversation we have before we even look at a property. So reach out and let's see what you're working with. One of the most common things I hear from people after they move to Covington is I had no idea there was this much going on here. The city of Covington runs a full events calendar throughout the year. Their 4th of July fireworks celebration has won awards for years running. There's a farmers market, outdoor community events, and a month-long Christmas celebration that draws people from across the region. The downtown square is generally active. Local restaurants, boutiques, coffee shops, and a community energy that most suburban cities would pay anything to manufacture. If you're relocating from a city and you're worried about trading activity for affordability, Covington is going to surprise you. It's not the quiet, sleepy suburb people assume it is before they get here. Most buyers researching Covington think about one thing, the Atlanta commute. And we covered that honestly in the pros and cons video. But here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Covington sits directly on the I-20 corridor, which runs west toward Atlanta and east toward Augusta and the Port of Savannah. That eastward connection is more valuable than most people realize. Augusta has a growing job market, a significant military and healthcare employment base, and a lifestyle that attracts a growing number of professionals. The Port of Savannah is one of the busiest ports on the East Coast and a major employment corridor in its own right. For remote workers, logistic professionals, military families, and anyone whose employment connects to that I-20 corridor, Covington's positioning is far more strategic than it first appears on the map. You're not just 35 miles from Atlanta, you're connected in both directions. This last one is subtle, but it matters more than people realize when they're choosing where to put down roots. Covington was founded in 1821 and has maintained its historic character across 2 centuries. But what's happening right now is more than just preserving the past. The city recently received the Award for Excellence in Downtown Development, a recognition that the investment being made in the downtown square and surrounding areas is real, intentional, and ongoing. When a city is actively investing in its own downtown, attracting new businesses, improving infrastructure, celebrating its identity, that's a signal of long-term stability. It tells you the people running this city are committed to its future, not just its history. For a buyer making a long-term decision about where to live and build equity, that kind of civic investment is exactly what you want to see in the community you're choosing. Those are the 5 things I think everybody should know before making the move to Covington, Georgia. If you've already watched the community tour and the pros and cons video, you now have a complete picture of what life here actually looks like. If you haven't seen those yet, I'll link them below. If you're ready to have a real conversation about whether Covington or anywhere else in the metro Atlanta area is the right fit for you, reach out. My contact information is in the description. If this video was helpful, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and share it with someone you know who's making a decision to move to Georgia. I'm Rick DeShields, and I'll see you in the next video.